Hi again, also from my side. My name is Eva Fasula, and as I mentioned, this project showcase is about AI as a tool for international negotiations. I'm a senior IT consultant for AI and data science at Digital Moves GmbH. It's in Stuttgart, where I consult on digitalization of city matters. And I'm also a volunteering product manager at Omdena. And you can see also Rasha here. She's the Chief Project Officer at Omdena. And she will be also here in case you have any questions about the project or Omdena.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Eva. Hi, everyone, and glad to be here. I'm really excited about this and happy to take any questions later on. Otherwise, I'll let Eva handle this for now. Thank you.
Thanks. As mentioned, Omdena has partnered with the Data Innovation Lab, which is, as you all know, of course, affiliated with the German Federal Foreign Office, to address challenges faced by foreign policy experts in navigating complex negotiations. So for those of you who might have not heard of Omdena, it's a collaborative platform where volunteers all over the world come together and build AI solutions to real-world problems. And this particular project was an AI challenge. The 15 collaborators, really amazing collaborators, had been developing an AI solution over a period of 10 weeks. And I was the project manager of this project. So I will give you now an overview of our outcomes. So what was the project goal? It was the development of an AI tool for foreign policy experts, which had the aim to facilitate reviewing, summarizing, and analyzing policy documents. And for this, we used the Global Digital Compact submissions, which had been submitted by many participants all over the world in preparation for those negotiations. So what's important for that is that policy officers should have an AI tool which facilitates a decision-making and efficient document review. And the goal of this project was to deliver a proof of concept system which was suitable for beta testing and could also be a foundation for a production system, but also applicable to other negotiations. So as in any other large language model project, we had 5 steps which we incorporated. Of course, the first important one was data collection. Luckily, all the data was, of course, available on the official website of the United Nations. The challenge we had here is that there were 2 types of data. One were PDF submissions and the other one Power BI dashboard. So we had to use different techniques and APIs to retrieve those documents. Then, of course, as a next step, we integrated this and developed an LLM model to analyze the data, to generate summaries, but also provide comparisons. And lastly, which we will see also later on, of course, build an interface where the policy officers can ask the questions. So as usual, we have in such projects an ingestion part. We did the document reading and chunking for both types, for the PDF submissions, but also for the Power BI submissions. We stored those chunks into a numeric vector database and embedded them. Then we built on a query where we needed 2 types of queries. The first one was a topic query because the negotiations and the submissions had different topics, as for example, internet fragmentation. So we wanted to have those separated to have distinguished summaries for each topic, but also comparative ones. For example, we could ask questions like, please compare the submission of the EU versus the United States regarding a particular topic. So for that, we built also an agent which breaks down those complex queries into subqueries and gives then appropriate answers. With, lastly, of course, a RAG system, retrieval response, which identifies and retrieves from the database the relevant documents and also finds there the suitable source to generate the response. So here you can see how this user interface looks like. We called it Diplomacy GPT. And you can see one output here. we have a sample question, what does the submission by Amazon state regarding internet fragmentation compared to the Wikimedia Foundation? So those two submissions are in our vector database, and we can then ask questions to it. And here we get the answer with a comparative summary. What's important also here at the end, that we can see that the sources where this LLM gets its answers from are also displayed. So policy authors can easily go and check up if it's true on where this question comes from, and this answer as well. So apart from a chat, we have also established an entity comparison site where you can just choose with a drop-down menu. You can see it here on the left to compare different submissions corresponding to different topics. So in this example, we have Microsoft in Japan, and we want to know, we want to have a comparison bit for the topic connecting people to the internet. And you get automatically 3 types of summaries. Let's start on the right side. We have here the extractive summary, which is actually a verbatim extraction of the most important sentences of this selected topic. So you can just easily then read it out also in the PDFs. Then we have the abstractive summary here in the middle. It summarizes and paraphrases the right one, the extractive summary. So it's more compact and it's not verbatim anymore, but has paraphrased words used. And lastly, here on the left, we have very short summaries, the chain of density summaries, how we develop them, which are 2 to 3 sentences of the selected topics to get a quick overview of this question. So in our project, it was also very important to consider ethical AI. And for this, we used the Microsoft's impact assessment framework to distinguish potential harms and design mitigation strategies. And it was very important for us, for example, to include also security issues. So for that, we have used a secure infrastructure, which is closed, but also have established a login before you can enter the interface, so that only the people that you want can enter this GPT. And of course, the second point, explainable AI. It was very important that actually it's traceable and transparent what answers are given. As you have seen in the example before, we have incorporated the sources always stated where the answers get from. So a policy officer could easily go and check them on her own. Is it correct what it's there? So that it's traceable. Now coming to the challenges and the lessons we learned. So the first challenge, of course, data integration. As mentioned earlier, we had different formats of sources. The one has been PDFs, other ones have been Power BI submissions. So we had to parse them differently. But also regarding the PDF documents, it was not so easy because we did not only have regular PDFs, but also, for example, scanned ones. So this was a challenging part to parse those. And of course, the user adoption, because we wanted to ensure that this tool was user-friendly and was meeting the needs of the policy officers. So we had to have some discussions with them to figure out what's most suitable for them. And having faced those challenges, we came up with some recommendations, which might be maybe also useful for you when you deal with large amount of submissions or just large amount of PDF data, is to establish a uniform submission type, meaning, for example, that no scanned PDF documents are allowed because this makes parsing very, very difficult. And on the other side, maybe also establish some rules for the PDF structure. For example, always having the same titles for certain sections so that the model can easily distinguish the titles and get them better chunks. So lastly, we have summarized here the expected impact that we consider could have such an AI tool. Of course, document processing time and decision-making efficiency would be increased and higher. That's what we expect due to the AI tool. Because without using the AI tool, you have to go manually through hundreds of documents, and this is very time-consuming. With the AI tool, you can get a first, a first overview of a summary, and can easily check then where the source is, can compare and dig more into deep details to find out more. Then we have data insights and comparative analysis, which is limited and time-consuming without an AI tool, but of course more comprehensive and quick because you get fast answers. You could go and ask the AI tool, for example, which countries do have a similar position as I have in regards internet fragmentation. So you would get a list with those countries and could go and check only those submissions out of hundreds as a first step, instead of just skimming through all of these on your own. And we have compliance and traceability, which could be difficult due to manual process without an AI tool, but enhanced due to automated source tracking with an AI tool, as we have always in the answers, the sources included. So now just at the end, a quick outlook. We think that this project was very successful and have paved the path for future advancements in this area. This proof of concept is applicable also to other topics for other negotiations, but also in general to be useful for other areas where policy authors are working on a huge amount of data or documents. If you're interested in seeing a live demo, please visit the Data Innovation Lab website. They have there a very nice video of this and more details about the challenge. And of course, if you have questions about Umdena, or maybe you want to partner with Umdena for any other project, please feel free to ask Rasha Salim. And that's it from my side. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please let us know.
Thank you very much for that excellent presentation, and thank you for the great partnership on this. I think it's been very fruitful and very happy to have done this with you from our side. I will read out some questions from the chat, and we'll have to take some time. We can go a few minutes longer to respond to them to make sure we go through them properly. First of all, question: how useful was this tool to also identify disagreements between submissions? Diplomats often use code language and that can mask, for example, human rights issues. That was one question. And then we have one that is what is the quantity of the data used to train this I assume it's model is supposed to say, or is it just the completeness of the data? I hope that is somewhat clear. If not, you can ask people to clarify in the chat. But over to you.
Thanks. So maybe I can take first the second question. We used a sample of data. So it was 15 documents that we ingested into this AI tool, since it was a proof of concept. Of course, this is easily scalable. There had been hundreds of submissions. You can, of course, insert as many as you want, of course, considering that you have also the memory, right? And also the storage. But you can use it and scale it as high as you want. And the first question was regarding language, I guess I remember.
Yeah, the first question was in terms of how it can be useful to identify disagreements between submissions and how it can use. Yeah, the person is alluding to when people say one thing but maybe mean something else. How can it decipher the languages of diplomacy, which may be a bit different than how we speak to each other in this call or in other forums?
Yeah, this is a very good question. So there is, of course, as you mentioned, a certain language for diplomacy. We try to capture that. What the AI tool can do is, of course, find similar patterns and similar words used. So, of course, it's not perfect in reading between the lines, but it gives first insights. So just finding let's say, submissions where you agree would be easy for the AI tool. Maybe more something that is in a gray area, not that much. But as a first insight, you get good outcomes.
Fantastic. One quick question, and then we'll need to head over to the panel. Which LLM model and its variant was used for this project, and what made you choose that LLM model over the others? So a quick answer, if you can. Otherwise, we'll go and respond to that in the chat. But yeah,
Sure.
if you want.
We used OpenAI. We concluded this project in March. Back at that time, it was the best model to use.